How you doing, K9? How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? You okay?
Yeah, man, it's 78 Fight News here. I got the brothers here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves real quick before we get into the interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Boxing beats and rhymes. How you doing, Mr. Bundrage?
I'm doing fine. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, directly from London. Good to hear from you, man.
Yo, this is Errol Jarrett from London, bro. Mr. Bundrage.
Okay. Can you hear me fine?
Pardon?
I said, can you hear me fine?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, man.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Errol Jarrett from London, Mr. Bundrage.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Yo, Skylar.
I think we lost Skylar. All right, Mr. Bundrage, the first question I want to ask you, man.
Yeah, sorry. My mic was turned off.
Yeah. Go introduce yourself, Skylar.
Hey, what's up, Bundrage? This is Skylar. 1CWA. Doing good.
Peace.
Hey, second.
Okay, first question, Mr. Bundrage, I want to ask you, first of all, congratulations on your victory over Corey Spinks. But what's next for you in your career, man? The consistency among boxing fans is that a lot of people like Canelo Alvarez have been ducking you. How do you feel about that?
You know what? I put in God's hands. I mean, the fans and everybody, they know what it is. I mean,
Right.
And, I wouldn't mind fighting Alvarez because I want to unify the belts. But, he want to fight other people other than me. It doesn't make sense to me, so I guess it makes sense to him.
Right. So how do you feel about the state of the 154-pound division right now? You got guys like James Kirkland. Would you be interested in fighting a Kirkland or maybe a winner of Austin Trout and Miguel Cotto?
It depends on what the fans want. What's the bigger fight for me? I don't really know what's the bigger fight for me because certain guys, man, you end up getting pennies for guys you're supposed to get a lot of bread for. So it depends on who's hot. I want to fight someone that's real hot that everybody's talking about. Because the style got to be right. I really want to fight for another belt. I definitely want to fight someone like Cotto. Austin Charles, he looks good, and people demand that, and it makes sense. And that fight, it could be, it probably could happen. But really, since all the other guys are ducking me, my main goal is to fight Floyd Mayweather. That's who I really want to fight, Floyd.
Okay.
Hey, what about Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman.
The guy he fought yesterday.
Okay, what about him?
Yeah, were you interested in fighting him? He's real hot right now.
Yeah, but he's on my level. I mean, if I beat him, all they're gonna say is, well, he hasn't never been proven. He hasn't really beat no one. To be honest with you, I really want to. I wouldn't mind fighting a rematch with the guy who I beat overseas, Derby at basketball.
Right.
He's from over there overseas. He's from, I believe he's from he's from Russia.
Okay, I remember that fight.
He
was a tall guy, yeah? A tall fighter.
Yeah, he had a belt. He had the WBO belt.
Okay.
Yeah, so, he might want to rematch. I think that fight would be worth a whole lot, financially and business-wise. It would make sense because then I would have two belts. Since, guys like Canelo, they don't want to, he don't want to get in the ring with me. I'm dangerous.
Right. Yeah.
Cotto, I was one day away from getting a fight with Cotto. Cotto and them, we had talked and they said they were prepared to make me an offer. And the next day, actually at 10:45, the next day they decided to fight Trout. I believe they decided to fight Trout because he would take less money, and I don't think he would be much of a threat as me. They scared that gorilla, that silverback, that gorilla punch I got.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm 39 years old, but I fight like I'm 19.
Mm-hmm.
So They say, man, they want to catch you when I'm 60.
Hey, K9, how do you? I heard rumors that you and Andre Berto was discussing maybe fighting before he chose to fight Guerrero. Is that true?
Oh yeah. You know, I did the part. I did my part. You know, I signed to fight Berto. I signed a contract and everything.
Mm-hmm.
No, but Berto, I heard through the grapevine that Berto didn't want no problem. You know, Berto was like, man, I don't know about that one. And then, so, yeah, I'm happy for Berto though, because he got like 1.6 million for that fight he just fought last night. He fought a good fight, and I'm happy for him. You know, it'd have been dangerous. It'd been dangerous if he'd have fought me.
Yeah. K9. Most of us in the UK, we probably first took notice of you through the Contender series. And I noticed from there, a lot of people were sort of like, they wasn't convinced that you was the total package. And you seem to prove the skeptics wrong all the time. How do you just remain so resilient? You just bounce back, you're a world champion now. What do you attribute that to? Because most people would have folded under the, some of the press and the things that you went through.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in Christ, and I think with God all things are possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so loyal, and I'm just so thankful, and I feel like I got to go hard for God. It's a scripture in the Bible that says, God said, whatever He give your hand to do, do it with all thy might. So I live my life through the scriptures, and He said, do it with all thy might. I'm a boxer, so I do it with all my might. And, doing it with all my might, these cats in trouble.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is your best victory so far? What gave you the most satisfaction? What victory gave you the most satisfaction?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You said what again? Now you said what? Say that part again. My wife was tickling me.
What victory so far in your career has given you the most satisfaction?
What victory?
Yeah.
I would say the victory I had on the Contender when I fought against Bravo. When I beat Bravo, and when I beat Michael Clark. It's a few of them, but first I would say the where the Bravo fight sticks out the most was my sister was murdered.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't nobody know how I was gonna take it. You know what I mean? And I had dedicated that fight to my sister, and God gave me a lot of strength, and they didn't know what to say. They was dropping their mouth. The commentators, if you go rewind it, what they were saying, and rewind the fight, they was like, oh, they couldn't even commentate. All they kept saying, It was just, man, my mama was there, I flew her in. That was the first time ever getting on an airplane. It was just a lot of emotions, and then I just want to prove everybody that I was a lot better than I was when I was on the Contender. when I was on the Contender, they wouldn't let us really train. We wasn't able really to train because we were doing a reality show.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard to look as good as I really, as good. It was hard to look as good as I am or I was at that time because we wasn't able to really train like, when our trainers wasn't out there with us.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't really put in the kind of work. You couldn't really see, what we was about, being on that show, man. And but once I fought in the Contender, when I fought at the Staples Center against Bravo, we were the show was over with. It was just the last fight before the end of the show. We was able to go home and train, and I put on a show. I stole the show.
Yeah.
And now I'm the champion. You remember what I said? Yeah, you remember what I said? I said that first should be last, the last should be first. Out of the Contender, season 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, you can keep going. I'm the champ of the world.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. World champ.
Definitely. Yeah. Champ. So how do you did Eddie, what's his name? Emmanuel Stewart train you for that fight, and how you feel about the passing of Emmanuel Stewart?
Yeah, Emmanuel Stewart. He was my corner. He trained me like for one day. He came actually came to my house and picked me up, and he said Anita, who he was talking to. He said that she said he should work with me more because Emmanuel Stewart, he's so busy. He was so busy all the time. He's my manager. He just came and flew in from Germany coming out of Crisco's training camp to come to my fight. Well, he was really my manager more than my trainer. I mean, he'd get in the corner and work my corner because he has all the experience and they respect him because he's Emmanuel Stewart. My trainer is actually his nephew. Yeah, and his name is Jason Sugar Hill. But, you know, I learned a whole lot from him, just being around him, just talking to him. You know, I learned a whole lot from him, and I got mad respect for him. And, you know, it's sad that he's gone because, you know, he knew a whole lot about boxing and he helped a whole lot of people out. And, you know, a lot of fans, you know, they're going to miss some good commentating. A lot of fighters are going to lose a lot. I mean, they're not going to get a lot of tricks he could have learned from him. And I just appreciate the time I was able to spend with him, and I was honored and Jay was learning from him the things I learned from him. And I just have to move forward, man, and you know, try to have my legacy. I want a legacy of K9s out here.
K9, what happened? I'm not sure if you can go into too much detail. What happened? Because it seemed your relationship with Don King seemed to fray at the end of the relationship. Can you just briefly just touch what went through without going into shit that will get you into libel issues? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The contract with me with Don King, we had a 2-fight contract deal, and he wanted me to sign a longer contract deal with him, and I wasn't looking forward to doing that. So, you know, that's the reason why he probably wasn't fighting me, because if I fought one fight, I only had one fight left with him. So I wasn't fighting because of the contract that I had with him was only a 2-fight contract deal. So I believe that probably played an effect on, you know, me not fighting a whole lot under his contract.
Okay.
But that you know, that like a Don King, man, I got a lot of respect for him because he's a legend, you know, and he didn't get to where he at for being dumb. Smart man. I even learned a lot from him too. And I appreciate, I thank God for being able to come across some of the most intelligent and smartest men and trainers and managers in the world with coming across a Don King and a Emmanuel Stewart. That's something I can do to my grandkids.
Definitely.
When I'm in my rocking chair.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing all right. So what? Who you got lined up to fight? When you fighting next?
Yeah, I'm gonna be fighting early 2013. Somebody in trouble, and it ain't me. But yeah, I look forward to fighting in 2013, defending my belt, and I look forward to fighting in my city too, in my city of Detroit. You know, we had a world champion defend their belt in the city of Detroit, I believe, in the city of Detroit, from Detroit, in like 26, 27 years, since Tommy Hearns. So that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be huge for the city of Detroit. And then economy is so bad in Detroit. I mean, it's bad all around the world, but it's super bad in Detroit. So I believe that day is going to be like the World Series for Detroit, with me being a world champion. And, I just look forward to putting on a good show. And I'm quite sure it's going to be a lot of revenue. You know, people be able to have jobs that day, security and some everything. I'm just happy that, I'll be able to, God will be using me. To really put some money into your pockets that day. Because it's going to be big. Like I said, it's going to be like the World Series.